Picture a small group huddled around a fire. One person sits alone, slightly apart. Nobody offers them food tonight. This wasn't random. This was deliberate, quiet cruelty. Bullying, it turns out, is disturbingly ancient. Long before recorded history, this same cruel instinct already existed. Today, we uncover its true, uncomfortable origin story. Most people assume bullying is a modern schoolyard problem. That assumption completely misses something much darker. Long before playgrounds existed, dominance games already ruled small groups. Chimpanzees, our closest relatives, show clear bullying behavior today. Stronger individuals target weaker ones repeatedly for social control. Watch closely, and the pattern feels eerily, uncomfortably familiar. Scientists believe similar patterns existed among early human ancestors. Group living meant constant competition for food and status. Someone always tried climbing higher, often by pushing others down. Even sharing food required constant negotiation of who mattered most. Here's something deeply unsettling most people never consider. Exclusion in ancient times could genuinely mean death. Without the group, survival became almost completely impossible. So being excluded wasn't just painful, it was dangerous. The body itself likely evolved to fear rejection as much as predators. Archaeologists studying ancient skeletons found troubling, repeated evidence. Some remains show healed fractures from repeated targeted violence. Not random accidents, patterns suggesting sustained, deliberate mistreatment over time. Certain individuals showed multiple injuries at different healing stages. In some ancient burial sites, certain bodies were treated differently, buried carelessly apart from others without any ceremonial respect. That separation, even in death, tells a haunting story. Bog bodies found in northern Europe reveal something disturbing too. Some show signs of ritualized violence tied directly to social punishment. Researchers believe these individuals were deliberately targeted and outcast, perhaps for being different, weak, or simply disliked. Similar patterns appear in isolated tribal societies studied today. Anthropologists observed certain individuals consistently mocked, excluded, or physically threatened. Often, these targets shared one trait: visible difference from others. Now let's address the popular myth around ancient community life. Many imagine early humans as perfectly cooperative, harmonious, and kind. That romantic picture is comforting, but mostly incorrect. Real evidence shows hierarchy, exclusion, and calculated cruelty existed. Status wasn't given freely, it was aggressively fought for. Even the smallest gesture, a shared glance, could shift someone's standing. Someone always benefited from making another person feel small. Group identity often formed by deciding who didn't belong. Us versus them wasn't just tribal, it was deeply personal. Belonging felt like survival, and exclusion felt like a threat. Children in hunter-gatherer societies weren't immune to this either. Young ones mimicked adult hierarchies, testing dominance among themselves early. Teasing, exclusion, and physical intimidation likely existed since early childhood. Even play among young children often mimicked adult power struggles. A stronger child might claim toys, food, or favorite sleeping spots. So the peaceful ancient utopia myth quietly falls apart. But one uncomfortable question still remains completely unanswered today. Why would something so cruel persist across countless human generations? Wouldn't cooperation matter far more for group survival instead? Here's where things get genuinely disturbing and deeply revealing. because bullying might have actually served a brutal purpose. Stay with us. Everything is about to make sense. So why did bullying actually serve early human survival? First, hierarchy. Groups needed clear structure to function smoothly. Someone had to lead and someone had to follow. Second, resources. Bullying often decided who ate first. Food was scarce, and competition could turn genuinely brutal quickly. Whoever controlled access to meat often controlled the entire group. Third, mating. Dominant individuals often gained better reproductive opportunities overall. Intimidating rivals meant fewer competitors for potential partners nearby. Displays of dominance often replaced actual physical fighting entirely. Fourth, group cohesion. Picking a common target unified everyone else. Shared dislike, disturbingly, created powerful bonds between other members. Here's something that might genuinely disturb you right now. Scapegoating an individual could actually reduce wider group conflict. Instead of fighting each other, everyone attacked one person. It felt safer somehow than turning against the entire group. Fifth, testing strength. Bullying revealed who could handle pressure. Weakness, once exposed, determined someone's entire future role. Those who couldn't defend themselves often faced repeated targeting afterward. Sixth, and finally, warning signals mattered for group safety. Punishing rule breakers publicly discouraged others from similar behavior. Public shame became a powerful, low-cost tool for enforcing rules. So bullying wasn't senseless. It was a strategy, however brutal and unfair. 6 disturbing reasons, yet together they shaped early social structures. Let's trace how bullying evolved across thousands of years. It began with simple physical dominance among small hunting bands. Stronger individuals controlled food, tools, and access to shelter. As groups grew larger, dominance became more subtle and social. Gossip, exclusion, and reputation damage replaced pure physical intimidation. Words whispered carefully could ruin someone faster than any fist. Here's a fact that still surprises historians and psychologists today. Ancient Greek and Roman schools recorded documented bullying among students. Teachers sometimes punished weaker students publicly, reinforcing painful social hierarchies. Meanwhile, ancient armies used deliberate humiliation to break new recruits. Harsh treatment supposedly built toughness, though it often caused lasting harm. Some historians argue this military tradition still echoes in modern institutions. As civilizations grew, bullying moved into workplaces, courts, and guilds. Powerful figures targeted rivals through public shame and social exclusion. Reputation, once damaged, was nearly impossible to fully rebuild. Written records from medieval Europe describe cruel, humiliating public punishments. Stocks and pillories exposed wrongdoers to mockery and physical abuse. Society openly encouraged crowds to taunt and torment the accused. Entire towns sometimes gathered, treating cruelty as public entertainment. Meanwhile, workplace hierarchies quietly developed their own bullying patterns too. Apprentices often endured harsh treatment from established masters and peers. Enduring mistreatment silently was often seen as proof of loyalty. Here's another surprising fact most people never actually learn. The word bullying originally meant something completely different centuries ago. It once referred to a sweetheart or beloved close friend. Over time, its meaning twisted into something far more sinister. Language itself, it seems, evolved alongside this darker behavior. As industrialization spread, schools became crowded, competitive, and hierarchical spaces. Children mirrored adult power structures, testing dominance among their peers. Playgrounds quietly became small-scale training grounds for future hierarchies. Eventually, psychologists began formally studying bullying as a distinct behavior. Researchers noticed consistent patterns across cultures, ages, and generations. Bullying, they found, always involves power, repetition, and clear intent. It's never a single incident, but a pattern, sustained deliberately. Today, bullying has moved beyond playgrounds into digital, online spaces. Screens changed the medium, but the underlying instinct remained unchanged. A cruel comment online still triggers ancient fears of exclusion. Yet they strip away the technology and something ancient still remains. We still crave status. We still fear exclusion from groups. So let's return to that lonely figure by the fire. Someone sits apart, ignored, hoping desperately to belong again. That painful scene, repeated endlessly, echoes across our entire history. Modern bullying, at its core, is ancient exclusion wearing new masks. We still form groups and still decide who belongs. We still compete for the status, sometimes at another's expense. We still feel that ancient fear of being left out. That fear stretches back further than most of us realize. It lives quietly in every group, every school, every workplace. Every act of exclusion echoes instincts older than civilization itself. Bullying isn't just cruelty. It's one of humanity's oldest, darkest patterns. Understanding its origin helps us recognize and finally interrupt it. Knowledge, unlike instinct, gives us the power to choose differently. So the next time you witness someone being excluded, remember, you're witnessing something ancient, but never something acceptable. Now tell us, have you ever stood up for someone? Drop a comment below and share your own story today.